Only got like 50% power on my phone, my friends. Only 50% power. So what's going to happen is that we're going to have a short and sweet live. Now I haven't gone live on outside in a while. It's probably the first time I've ever done this spring on a spring day. My first time going live. So I hope that y'all enjoy that. And also, if you can't tell, I got a little bit of a better setup. I got some light going on. So hopefully you love the ambiance or whatever word I'm supposed to use for that. So thank you for popping in. We're going strong on a live, Saturday night. How y'all doing? How everybody popping in? What's your scent of the day? How's life treating you? What's good? Do you like how my setup is different? And I am trying to pull up Fragrantica on my computer. One reason I'm late is that I had to restart my computer because if any of y'all are tech wizards, let me know. About every time I connect to the internet and like I do, if I do an update, there's no viruses. My computer's fine, but it has this weird glitch when I disconnect from the internet, or if my internet gets disconnected, or something. For some reason, I have to restart the computer to reconnect to a different Wi-Fi or internet source. It's really odd, but it requires me to restart my computer more than I should. Anyways, let's talk about fragrance. How was everybody's fragrance week? How's everybody smelling? What's your scent of the day? Gammy Al, so good to see you pop in here. As always, good, my friend. What's popping? What's good? What's you smelling like out there? I got some new reviews coming your way of some really nice fragrance, summer fragrances, fresh fragrances, and things that are a little bit unique. And I hope that y'all are excited about that. I hope that y'all are. I'm trying to put out a lot of really good, kind of trying to put out my fragrance reviews based on seasonality. Again, I don't know if that's always the smartest thing to do, but that's kind of how I approach things. Let me know if that's a smart idea or not. So I've been transitioning, kind of getting away from the spring, the green, the fig fragrances of the rose and the musk, and things that are like the slightly spicy, slightly patchouli, maybe slightly vetiver fragrances. I've been transitioning more into summer fragrances, and that's kind of what I'm going to start to talk about now, honestly. Let me see if I can't. Okay, maybe I'm centered up a little bit better now. Okay, C Boy says, scent of the day, Prada El Homme. Fantastic fragrance, fresh and clean, easy to go with. Hey, you can't go wrong with Prada El Homme. Jake says, a scent of the day is Madwi by Arabian Oud, and it's beautiful for the spring day in New York. I bet it is. I have not tried that fragrance. Actually, I'm kind of tempted to get, I think it was called Hawass. I know everybody knows about it. It's kind of like old news in the Fragcom now, but I found it for a good price, and I think might be sometime soon that I get that fragrance. So, yeah, some of those Rasasi and Al Haramain, they make some really good fragrances for the money sometimes. I mean, sometimes they do magic. Some of them are just okay, but some of them are great. Let's see here. Anyways, I read that. Oh, Dexter's in the house. Good to see you, Dexter. Hi, everyone. Oh, is your fragrance is Trussardi? Which one? Is it Rifle So? Is it... I know Jeremy Fragrance talked about My Land quite a while. Sometimes you see that one pop up. Which Trussardi? Anyways, hope that y'all have been having a really good week. I've been trying to get my finances and everything in order as usual, and I've been doing a little bit better, and I'm happy about that. And for some reason, I'm an odd fellow. This is a fragrance channel, but if I don't feel like I have the right tools, if I can't accomplish a job well, it bothers me, and it bothers me a lot. So I'm kind of the guy that feels like he has to have a toolkit. So I've been trying to build that up a while. But anyways, let's build that into fragrance. Let's mix the topic. What is something you feel like a fragrance that every person should have in their collection? What's a fragrance that you think is just so good that everybody has to have it? Let's see. Let me pop in here. I'm having a hard time switching to summer freshies after wearing all the beautiful complex niche fragrances in the fall winter. I gotta feel you, Jake. I do like darker, smokier fragrances. You know, I'm a big fan of ouds and tobaccos and heavier fragrances, I guess, in general. I love those caramels, some of the patchoulis. I just love that kind of stuff. It really just depends. Some of the heavy tonkas, that kind of stuff does magic for me. So I feel you, but there are beautiful fresh fragrances. But again, a lot of the stuff is a little bit more carefree. If you want something that's complex and spicy and also has a little bit of the sensuality of oud, definitely get Oud Malaki by Chopard. I've talked really good things about that one. I don't think it'll disappoint you as an original, kind of a summer fresh fragrance. Also, if you're looking for a cheapie, if you're on a budget, The original Lalique pour Homme, the lion's head, for about 20 bucks or so is, and it's extremely good quality. It's really hard to beat. It's a classy, timeless fragrance. It is a little bit on the fougere side, but I think it's pretty easy to wear, but pretty fancy too. You might kind of make a statement if you're just dressed casual, walking in with that fragrance. I think people will think you were trying to make a statement, but it's an excellent fragrance. So we could talk about some more fresh fragrances too. If you want to, just let me know, everybody. Pete says, how's it going, Ben? Scent of the day, 10 a.m. flirt. Oh, yes. Here in NYC. Love that fragrance. Beautiful. That's a gardenia. Beautiful fig. It's just right. Has some cashmere leather woodiness. Excellent fragrance. If you want a very bold, confident, full-bodied floral, it's really, really hard to beat. Dexter says yes, rifle so. Oh, that's nice. It's that the rifle so. I don't know, how would you describe it? To me, it's kind of ambrette, kind of like a nutty, slightly spicy, slightly leathery kind of ordeal, like a nutty leather. It's nice. It's kind of subtle. At least it was for me. What I remember about it. Let me know, how does that fragrance work for you? It actually was really nice. And if you are a classy, timeless kind of fragrance lover, Rifle So is still one that was made fairly recently that might get your attention. It's not talked about very much. It doesn't get a lot of love, but it was still a pretty good fragrance. Just not as modern, and it's not as sweet as a lot of people want fragrances these days. A lot of people want these days. I shouldn't say everybody. That's definitely not what I was saying. So let's talk about some new releases. Are y'all excited to hear about Louis Vuitton fragrances? I also got my hands on some of those fragrances, and I'll be releasing some of the reviews of those. Some of those are very fresh, like Afternoon Swim. I haven't seen too many people review Afternoon Swim by Louis Vuitton, so I actually will have a review out of that for y'all. Trying to remember what are some other fresh fragrances I've reviewed. I'm kind of considering re-reviewing Baldessarini Cologne Concentrate because I don't know if everybody saw that fragrance review. That one's pretty nice. Let me see here. Let's see. How's it go? Okay, I read that. Yes, Rifle So. Okay, please ask away questions. I'm here for you, everybody. Prada LOMO is one that I've been keeping my eye on. I've been tempted to buy that one. You'll probably want a review. That one is on my buy list. I might have to get it. I'm going to be putting out a review of, what was that, Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. That is an excellent cheapie. I mean, I guess I'll spoil my review a little bit for you guys who are watching live with me, spending some love, spending some time. That fragrance is worth the money. If you want a really carefree fragrance, it's gorgeous. A lot of people compare it to Invictus Aqua. It does have some of that quality, and for the money, it's certainly one of the best fragrances out there. It's up there with the wearability and the mass appealing kind of quality, and just something that's going to work for everybody. Just kind of like just like some of the best fragrances out there. My mind is blanking. I can picture the fragrance. It's Nautica Voyage. That's the one. It almost eluded me there for a second. It says, do you use Attars? I do, but I don't use them as often as I should. I have some musk Attars. I have some pure oud Attars. I tend to layer my Attars. I don't tend to layer an Attar just on itself. I kind of use an Attar really to make a fragrance last longer, or to just switch things up a little bit. And I have some indie concentrated fragrance oils, and I use that to layer up my fragrances too. So great question. Attars are a really great way to get great longevity in the summer months as well. If you're struggling to get performance, if you have the money for it, get yourself like a ambergris tincture, like an oil, or even a musk oil will do wonders and to really boost to make a fragrance last really long on your skin. So, Olfactophile, so good to see you, Tara. How's life treating you? What's good? What's new? What's poppin'? Thank you for sharing some love. I really love it when people pop in. And I'm not accusing you of Olfaktophiles, Tara, but it's funny. I do see some people, like on my Instagram, pop in who are other fragrance reviewers just for a couple seconds, and then they disappear and they don't engage. And you, Tara, you engage, that's for sure, but in the conversation. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying it's kind of a funny business. People just pop in and disappear. It says, I have to try Legend Spirit. Yes, if you want a easy-to-wear, mass-appealing fragrance for a good, affordable price, and you like those sweet, playful, fresh fragrances, Mont Blanc Legend Spirit is one of the best out there. If you're a cheapie lover or like, compliment getters and you want something playful, it's going to be one of the best fragrances out there for you. I mean, Mont Blanc Legend Spirit is hype worthy, absolutely. Let's see here. Ultra Vibes. Good to see you. Hello, Ben. I've been lurking in the background for a while, so saying hi. What do you think about Aaron Terrence Hughes fragrances? Well, I'm happy that you've come out from the lurking and came out of the. I don't even know what kind of joke I should make about that, but I thank you for popping out and saying hello. That's a great question. Honestly, I have not gotten my nose on those fragrances yet. I do want to. I know that some of them seem to be fairly popular, and he created quite a stir. The names of his fragrances at Aaron Terrence Hughes are very provocative. Some people might like that, some people might dislike that, but from what I hear, they're pretty good fragrances. I have not reviewed them yet, though. I'll keep an eye out if I can find some samples. They're not so easy to get a hold of so far, and I've been kind of trying to save money, put money into my soap company, and buy fragrances. We all kind of have our own style and thing. They are on my try list, but I know I need to get my hands on them. I just don't know when I will. There's a lot of fragrances, a lot of brands I need to buy discovery sets and review all kinds of stuff, and so I have so much content already for y'all. There's so much to do. Anyways, great question. Let me know. Is there an Aaron Terrence Hugh fragrance specifically that all of y'all want me to review? Maybe I can buy a certain sample if there's one in particular that you would really like to see me review. But I'll try to get my hands and review those. There's so many brands to review, so I'm not just trying to make excuses. I still have, I started reviewing the Harmonist fragrances, and I only reviewed I think about 3 of them, and I got like the whole discovery set. There's so many fragrances out there. It's really hard to get a hold of them. I have most of the zoologists. I have most of the imaginary authors. I have a lot of the Joe Malone fragrances, and I haven't reviewed really any of those. So, and not to mention all the other really odd fragrances here and there, and whatever else I get my hands on. So, there's a lot out there. Trust me, I got a lot of fragrances on the chopping block. So, Tinshu 808 says just ordered cool water parfum. Apparently smells a bit like Sauvage. Also a cheapie, Baldessarini signature. Yeah, the Baldessarinis are really underrated and really good for the money. Absolutely. And cool water parfum sounds nice. I haven't tried it yet. I've heard pretty good things about the cool water intense. I don't know, Fragcom wise, they don't seem to be too enthusiastic about the cool water DNA. I don't know how well people are receiving it on the market. I would love to see that information. I would love to know, but at least in the Fragcom, people don't seem to be too enthusiastic about like the new Polo Green Intense Cologne. I reviewed that one for everybody, and don't seem to be super enthusiastic about the Cool Water. I'm curious to know if it's funny to see trends and certain things are popular and certain things are not. So, Facto Files, Tara, you say doing all right. I was just smelling a bunch of samples. Which samples? Please do tell. How are you? I'm doing good this evening. We had a big thunderstorm last night, a huge thunderstorm. Might be the worst thunderstorm we've ever had over here. Actually, I was woken up a couple times. I usually am a pretty good sleeper, so me getting woken up 3 times is big. Some of the worst thunder. I actually blew off all the property, the driveway, in the backyard, and I picked up a bunch of limbs and stuff. I talk about this backyard, and it is a lot of work to take a hold of, and it's not even that big of a property. I know some people, again, I'm going to pan out. Some of y'all really like to see my backyard. It's real. It's not fake. It's real, everybody. But yes, it's a lot of work. But I've been doing pretty good. Thanks for asking away, Tara. But I've been trying to take care of myself, trying to, be healthier. I've never really been into tea before, but a new hobby of mine is tea. I got into the brand called Testa, or Tista. It's called Testa. The quality's really good. A lot of their blends are more fruity, but I really like their brand. And I recently bought some ginger hibiscus. I'm a big fan of ginger, so I'm always looking for a new tea if it entertains me. So I had to stop myself with the Testa brand, though. I got myself a decent size of they have a mango pineapple blend called like Moy Mango or something like that. And I was like addicted to this stuff. And that's one of my favorite things, pineapple and mango. Like a pineapple mango smoothie, I'm all over that. So it's kind of stuff. So let's see. If anyone who wants to try an amazing sandalwood, Mike says try Geo F Trumper sandalwood, one of the best and not that expensive. Thank you for mentioning that. I do need to get that one. That sounds really great and sounds like it'd be good for layering. I have heard that there is some complexity. It's just not a sandalwood, but it would be really good to layer. Haha, yes, Ultra Vibes. Mike, do you know where to buy Trumper fragrances in the USA? I mostly see UK people talk about them. Yeah, exactly. I don't know where they're sold. You can blind buy them online, but it is good to know where you can trust. Ultra Vibe says, I will see if I can send you a sample. That's generous of you, Ultra Vibes. If whoever you're talking to, me or Tara, or maybe both of us. Jake says, initial thoughts on the new two Amouage fragrances being released. Remind me, are there two newer ones? If you're talking about Enclave and Meander, I am familiar with those. Actually, I forget. I don't think I've even tried Enclave, but I have tried Meander. Meander is a nice creamy sandalwood, almost wants to be a leathery violet fragrance, but is a lot softer and creamier. But still, it feels very confident and bold in its own way. But the new Amouage is trying to move in a little bit more of a mass appealing direction to appeal to everybody, of course, so that more people find their fragrances more wearable, and they do want to be a popular brand. They see all these brands like Parfums de Marly, and that's very mass appealing and wearability focused, and kind of sensual and kind of more on the sweet side. And they've seen Nichane have some big hits like Ani and Fan Your Flames, and Amouage definitely wants to do their part. I think they're doing a pretty good job so far. I haven't been blown away from too many of their new fragrances yet, but I'm hoping that one of them really catches my attention. And I do really respect the House of Amouage, so I hope that they come out with a big hit that really puts them on the radar. Because y'all know I'm a big fan of Jubilation 25. Reflection Man was a big hit for a while, still is a pretty big player in Fragcom. And Waj has done a pretty good job overall. And Interlude Man, funny enough, in the early days of Fragcom used to be kind of popular, even though it's a heavy dark incense. But hopefully that answers your questions, Jake. But if there's two new Amouage fragrances that I don't even know about, I might need to pay attention. So I've got Onyx, but not sure about it. Onyx, Ultra Super Onyx from Trumper. Is that what it? Onyx from Trumper? Atara says, I want to try some of the Frank Banquet. Those are nice. Yes, the Frank Banquet, they are nice. And I've tried some of the more of the Daniel Haussiers recently. They're pretty nice. The Daniel Haussiers are out of Spain. It's kind of funny. Some of these brands that just have a name behind them, they seem to be pretty good, pretty dependable. If you're looking for a fragrance houses like that stand on their own and have some of their own good personality, I'm trying to let me type it in here real quick. Let's see if I can't find it. It's like I think it's Christopher Collins. He has some really good fragrances too. Yeah, Chris Collins has some really good fragrances. He has one called Dance or Danse Sauvage. I really like that one, and he's made some really good ones for sure. So let me catch up with the comments. What is T-Rex like? Ultra Vibes. My zoologist, T-Rex is a monster of a fragrance. I've actually smelled that one. I actually bought myself a little decant and I didn't even open it because that stuff's a monster. That's for somebody who wants an extremely bold fragrance. So if you like mass appealing or easy to wear fragrances, if you like things that are kind of transparent or carefree, T-Rex is your nemesis. T-Rex is going to scare you and you're never going to look back. You're going to run for your life because T-Rex is just crazy. It's a patchouli fragrance. It's oily. It has lots of fiery, passionate, kind of like a violet. It's kind of gritty and earthy somehow in the background, even though it doesn't become dark or anything. And it has like bull's blood from imaginary authors. It has this red, kind of like boiling blood kind of quality to the fragrance. And T-Rex is a monster. It's not for everybody. And did I mention that the performance is monstrous? You got to be careful with that fragrance. I've never experienced anybody around, almost nobody around here wears fragrances on it anyways, but I can't imagine how strong of a fragrance that would be if you put on more than 2 or 3 sprays of T-Rex. You would definitely scare people away. It's a fragrance that you have to be very confident, very bold, and you have to be willing or ready to make a statement. because that's fragrance is going to feel like you're making a statement. I mean, people are going to think you're intentionally wearing that to make a statement, or maybe they think you're an auto car repairman and that you accidentally poured oil on yourself and that you're about to combust and it catch on fire. That's just a joke, but that's kind of that's a fun way to put it. Ultra Vibe says, so to speak. Okay, does he do? Oh, Aaron Terrence Hughes. Frank Boclet. Oh yeah, Frank Boclet does have a fragrance called that. Yeah, yeah. He's got some crazy stuff over there. That's what that one's supposed to be a good tuberose fragrance. The Coca Cola. Ultra Vibe says, I am in the UK. GOF Trumper is a barbershop. What's poppin'? Been hey there, Tremaine in the house, my man. How's it going? What's poppin'? What's good? Good to see you, my friend. How you doing over there? Hope that everything's all right. Hope that everybody's doing okay out there in the world today. Tremaine Wilson says, "Scent of the day, Nishane, fan your flames." Oh man, that's a passionate fragrance, spicy and addictive, and certainly a really nice one. Nishane has some great fragrances. I need to get my hands on Manugu next, and Passion Cocoa also looks really good. I don't know if I would wear it. I have that feeling that I would love Passion Cocoa, but I would prefer it on a lady. I have that feeling, but Manugu might be for me. Patchouli Heads, not everybody talks about it. That one looks really good, and I'm sure that if you're a vetiver lover, I'm sure you already know about Sultan vetiver. I think Ash over there at Gent Sense really loved that fragrance and has put it on a lot of people's radar. Yes, Tara Olfactophile says, Daniel Hossier, Ombre Tabac, and really like that. Yeah, I like Chris Collins' Dan Sauvage as well. You got a good nose over there, Tara. We already know that. Ombre Tabac. Honestly, I haven't tried that one. The ones that I've tried were somehow I've evaded that. I've gotten Kaleidoscope, I've tried the Vetiver, and I've tried the Mystery Oud. I've got my hands on all three of those, but somehow the one that everybody likes, I just never got that one. But it looks really good. I should get that Ombre Tabac. Yeah, but Chris Collins, guys, please give him some love, give him a shout out. He's got great quality to his fragrances, and he's doing some beautiful stuff. So, we will get to talking about new fragrance releases eventually, but we're having such a great conversation. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it going. But we will eventually get to that. We've been on here for about 23 minutes, and thank y'all again. This is awesome. Time has flown by. It just felt like a couple seconds. Let's see here. Let's see. Is YSL's tuxedo gone? Maurice Young, I think you're asking because there's been big rumors about that. I saw Kuba Nose do a fragrance review because that's one of his favorite fragrances. That's his almost like signature scent that he's really always talked about. I mean, he talks about Cherokee a lot, but Tuxedo was kind of his baby. Just like with Jeremy Fragrance, it was La Nuit de l'Homme, by YSL. And there's some fragrances that people just really kind of connect with, and they almost promote it because they are so good. And I understand that. I don't know if it's really been discontinued or not. Or maybe they're gonna maybe reformulate it. I'm not really sure, but it is a beautiful fragrance. It seems to be one that people love in the Fradcom. I don't know how well Tuxedos is selling for YSL, and that's really the biggest thing. If it's not bringing enough money in, if they have some newer releases they want to put out, if it's cost them too much to try to produce it, I mean, there's all kinds of factors, or maybe with regulations that new IFRA regulations, who knows, maybe they'd have to reformulate it a lot. So it's that's a shame. Tara, you say, I've tried Daniel Hossier Ombre. Oh, I've already read that. Maurice, can't wait for Viking Cologne. Are they making a new Viking Cologne from Creed? Are they playing that flanker game? I'm not amazed. I wouldn't be amazed if they're playing the flanker game and doing cologne versions. I guess they want to copy Roja. Y'all know I don't want to get up in arms about Creed, but if they're merely making Viking Cologne and kind of copying Roja Dove with all the Roja Dove, the Parfum Cologne versions, I don't know. I don't know what to think about the people over there. What are they doing? What are you thinking? What's going on? What in the world? Anyways, Geo Trumper shaving cream is rose and it's luxurious. They have a famous gentleman's barbers. Oh, they do. In London. I've never been to London. Maybe one of these days I'll be able to go to London. I don't know when that'll happen, but I'd love to see it. I'd love to at least see it once. I've never been to London, so but Geo F Trumper, is that where they're from in London? I know that some big there's some big English fragrance houses. There's some big ones, like Floris. You know, I talked about some fragrances like that, and Ormond Jane I think is out of there, and Penhaligon's is kind of out of that area. So they got some fragrance history. Jake says, "Do you spray more nowadays since everyone is wearing masks? I noticed normally sprays didn't get me compliments at the hospital where I work, but I did get compliments when I overspray. Yeah, you do have to overspray just a little bit. Again, I'm kind of funny. I do like to get noticed, but I'm kind of comfortable with who I'm not saying anything against you, but I'm kind of comfortable with just wearing, I guess, a normal amount. Sometimes I'll put on an extra spray, but I've honestly, I don't work at a hospital or I haven't been around a public place too much. I've kind of kept to myself, so that I haven't even really had to think about that too much. So again, I live in a little bit more of a rural place, and if I'm around people, going to a grocery store or whatever, I'm just you're quickly in and out. But I know what you're saying. If you do want to get noticed, put on a couple extra sprays, and it'll probably work for you. But really good thoughts and questions there, Jake. Absolutely. Ultra Vibe says I have a few niche. So T Rex sounds wild. Thanks, Ben. Yeah, T Rex is one of the boldest and craziest and strongest fragrances. If you don't like violet, if you don't like smoke, if you don't like blood, and if you don't like that idea of all those combined together, like smoke, ash, blood, spices, and like heat, like a hot feeling to the fragrance, you're probably not gonna like T Rex. It's made to be a monster, and he accomplished his goal of making a monster. That's for sure. Mike V says Rochas Mustache EDP is a great substitute for YSL Tuxedo. Cheap too. You're absolutely right. Mustache EDP does have quite a few similarities to YSL Tuxedo, and you can still find it out there for a pretty good price. It gets you very close for a much more affordably. So people who know about that fragrance probably won't be disappointed. It is nice that they're to have the original fragrance, but there are a lot of people who are budget minded or want to get a fragrance for less. And honestly, Mustache EDP, I don't know how popular it is compared to Tuxedo. But honestly, it's kind of one of those fragrances for the value, for the money, for what you get. It kind of can replace the original for most people. Even though I know a lot of people love the niche and love the art and love the creativity and all that, it's that good and it's that close, or that it's a good enough, I guess I should say, a replacement, at least in my opinion. I know some people want to honor the brand and the artist and all that, but anyways, let me see here. Rochas must. I read that. Ha ha. Brilliant description of T Rex, my friend. And I'm scared now. Well, give it a try. I would put it on a piece of paper. If you put that on your clothing, a jacket, even on your skin, that might be a commitment in a bottle for a whole day or maybe more. If you put that on your jacket, if you put on a bunch of sprays and didn't think about it, you might smell your. I don't know how long your jacket might. It might smell like that for a year. What's something you would wear at a wedding? Great question, Antonio. I would wear probably something that's fresh and clean and crisp. I'm a big fan of grapefruit, so I would wear something with grapefruit. I personally, in my opinion, think neroli is fresh and clean, and I would encourage everybody to probably wear something fresh and clean. And neroli can do a beautiful job of that. There's Lowe, I think it's called 001 Man. That would be a good option if you want something a little bit more casual, I guess, of a wedding, like maybe like a summer wedding or something. But my best all around suggestion for just about anybody is always Reflection Man by Amouage. It has a beautiful lavender. It's charismatic and kind of soft and approachable. There's some vanilla. It's kind of fancy, but it's not too fancy. Reflection Man by Amouage is probably the best men's wedding fragrance. For a lady, Reflection Woman is great as well by Amouage, but I'm trying to think. There's probably a couple others out there. I probably should make a list about that. I will, but I have talked about that before. and some of my lists, but I've never really made a list dedicated to that. So thanks for reminding me. That is something that I kind of started on my channel, and that's something that I think of these ideas, but I don't continue with them as much. Maybe it's just because I don't feel like I don't have enough fragrances to do that. I don't have thousands, but there are, there's a lot of good fragrances for weddings. Anything fresh and clean. Again, neroli or a lot of those fragrances with Haitian vetiver would just work wonders. Some people have different opinions on if a boozy fragrance is good for weddings or not, but I feel, in my humble opinion, maybe I have too much of that Celtic blood in me. But I do think fragrances that have gin or even vodka would be fun for a wedding fragrance. But I don't know how everybody feels about that. Anyways, Altara says Zerzhov Dama Bianca would be good for a wedding set for a lady. I have not tried that fragrance yet, Tara, but I'm trusting you. And Zerzhov makes some good fragrances, so and it has Bianca in the name, so I'm guessing it's kind of like a clean white fragrance. Absolutely. There's lots of good things that could work for a wedding. If you want something that has a little bit of essential woodiness, if you're a lady looking for that and something that's pretty, you could get like Princess Oud by Creed. That could be something a little bit more unique, and nobody would really smell like that. But it would be probably make a very good impression. I'm trying to think of what other fragrances would be good for a wedding. I mean, there's a lot that you could probably wear. Prada El Homme, a lot of guys have that in their collection already. I probably would try to find something fancier, but if you didn't have anything else or anything different, or wanted to, hand your bottle around to all of your groomsmen or something, Prada El Homme wouldn't be a bad choice. So, anyways, let's jump to another topic unless y'all want to really like it. Tom Ford's Oud Wood would be nice. It would be a little bit more maybe of a Middle Eastern or flair, maybe for people around you who maybe like more woody, spicy fragrances. It could work certainly a little bit more. Maybe a little. You're going to wear a gray suit. I don't know, or maybe a gray outfit to your wedding. That definitely would make a nice little statement. Yeah, olfacto files. Yes, agreed, Mike. Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about some of the new fragrance releases. And let me know, are there any new fragrances that have y'all been interested into, or that have caught your attention? What is your wish list or to try list been? Um, mine is so long that I would confuse you. But I think I made earlier this year. I did make a video about that. I wish that I could easily and instantly plug a video for y'all to watch. But I do have a top 10 wish list or something to that effect this year. If I didn't make it, I put it in my mind, but I guess I forgot to make it. But let me pull up my Fragrantica profile and see if looking at some of these fragrances here, if I can remind myself of any of them. I know that one that I recently tried that I have to buy, that is a must purchase, is Ormond Jane's Black Gold. That is a fragrance I have to have in the collection. It's a little bit expensive, so I'm trying. That's one of the ones I'll have to save up for in the future. But that fragrance is one that I have to have in the collection. So that Ani would be really nice to have. I really like Anish Ani's Ani, but I almost would prefer that for a lady around me to wear that, even though it's very unisex. I'm trying to think of some other ones. For some reason, for a really long time, I've wanted Pirates Grand Reserve from Atkinson's. I've heard some mixed reviews about it, but I love rum. I've always been tempted to get that one. I really need to get that one in the collection. I've been tempted to blind buy a fragrance or two from the different company. They look really good. I've heard pretty good things from most of their fragrances. I would like to get my hands on one of them just to see what they're like. For some reason, they intrigue me. There's one I think it was called Lucky Oud. I think it was from Bortnikov. I could be mixing things up with Arige Lador, but I think it's a Bortnikov. I think it's called Lucky Oud. And I looked at the notes of that, and I really would love to have that in the collection. Let me catch up with the comments. What's your profile name? Oh, on Lucky Scent. On Fragrantica, it's just Scentitar. It's my old name. So it's Scent and IT Scent and then ITAR fragrance. It's my old name. I need to change it, but I still have it up there. It shouldn't be too hard to find me. Let's see here. Pure Malt Creation. I got a sample of that. If you don't know what that is, it's by Mugler. It's a flanker of Pure Malt. It was more of a limited edition release that had some extra booziness added to it. It doesn't last as long as the original Pure Malt, but it's actually still pretty nice. If I had all the money in the world to hunt down that fragrance and pay a ridiculous amount of money for it, I would like it. It would be way too overpriced for what it is, and it wouldn't have enough longevity. But if I had all the money in the world, I'd love to have a bottle of Pure Malt Creation. It would be kind of fun to have because almost nobody seems to know about it. Um, a beautiful fragrance. I'm not sure if I would wear it, but it's beautiful and gorgeous. On the same Tara. Let me double check if this is the one I'm thinking about. I'm pretty sure this is it. Let me double check on the notes. Yeah, this is it. Tara, I highly recommend, or any lady here, and I know a lot of guys would like this too. It's just almost too fruity for me, but it's called Or du Cereal from Naomi Goodsir. It's spelled OR space DU space SERAIL. Naomi Goodsir makes some beautiful fragrances, and I recently tried a sample of this stuff, and I was blown away. This stuff deserves to be up there and hyped, and I'm not making this up. Like, I'm not. I mean, maybe as good as up there with like Lyra. I'm not even making this up. I was blown away. Let me read you the notes of this, and I'm not trying to become a hype beast, but when I find something that's seriously good, um, oh, I have a sample of that. Do you think it's as good as I think it is, Tara? This has mango, red berries, apple, sweet orange, rum, coconut, mate, like a caffeinated tea, that mate. It has ylang ylang, sage, artemisia, geranium, honey, tobacco, beeswax, vanilla, amber, oak tree, labdanum, cedar, and musk. Unbelievable creation, a lot of addictive notes, a beautiful composition. Naomi Goodsir is certainly a niche house to explore if you haven't given that a chance. Again, I don't know if that one works for me with my personality, but I know a good fragrance when I smell one. And that one really impressed me recently. It's more of a weird fragrance. It's not for everybody, but I would like to have Corpse Survivor from Bruno Fazzolari. That's definitely on my buy list. It's kind of weird for a lot of people. I'd like to have it. I would like to have Paco Rabanne's Black Access Aphrodisiac and some of the weird, discontinued, very difficult to find flankers of some of those Black Access fragrances because I really like them, but for some reason I didn't know. I didn't act quickly enough and I didn't think about it. And at the eventually when I thought that, oh, maybe I should buy this before it was discontinued, they were completely gone and extinct and nobody was selling any of them. So let me see. Let me catch up with the comments. Can you link your fragrance profile here for us? No, sadly I can't. When I'm on my phone doing a live, I can't exit out or minimize this page or anything. So I can't really do anything over here. But you should be able to go to Fragrantica and search Scentitar, and it shouldn't be too hard to find me if you'd like. You could search some fragrance reviews and possibly find me. Like I have over 400 fragrance reviews. I used to be pretty active reviewing on Fragrantica. I don't do that so much anymore, but I do have quite a few fragrance reviews even on Fragrantica. So let's see here. Mike says, I really want to buy a Kajal Lamar Zerzov Cruz del Sur 2 and Elisab's Oud number 4. Yeah, those sound really nice. I have not tried that Oud number 4 though, but I have tried the Elisab Ombre or the Amber one, and if the rest of them are as good as that one, they're outstanding fragrances. And supposedly Maison Francis Kurkdjian was the one who was the perfumer behind those Elisab fragrances, and they're kind of discontinued, but they're still, you can find them sometimes pop up in that $70-$80 range, and they're actually really quite nice. A Factophile says, oh, okay, the Naomi Goodsir, talked about that. Where to find a bottle of Safari Extreme. Thanks you for what you do. Let me see if I can't find where they sell Safari Extreme. But I've never bought it, but it does look really good. That has been one on my buy list. And it looks excellent. And I almost want to blind buy it. Anyway, so Factus Utara, as you say, you'll find that fragrance. And thank you for the compliment. I mean, thank you. I really do appreciate all the love. I've been a very dedicated, hardworking fragrance reviewer. I've been doing this over for 2 years. I forget. I think I have. I know I have over 600. I forget if I've made over 700 videos yet, but I've been really dedicated and putting my work out there. So, Safari Extreme. I'm trying to find who sells this. Um, I think there's some on Amazon, but there probably are people just drop shipping it, so they might be trying to overcharge you. There's some Arabian houses. Abdul Samad Al Qurashi has it. They're supposedly have a shop out of Yonge Street, Toronto, so the shipping shouldn't be too bad through Toronto, Yonge Street, Toronto. So the shipping shouldn't be too bad to the USA. So you might want to try that. Anyways, Safari Extreme. Do maybe that might be the best place to get it. There's a couple places, but they're kind of out of the Middle East. There's not any. I can't find it on Lucky Scent. So, anyways, let's see here. Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver's nice. Absolutely. Let's see here. Let me catch up with the comments. Y'all are giving me some really good comments. Ronald says, evening scent of the night. Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Beau. That's really nice. It's a nice fig fragrance. Not everybody talks about it. It's pretty nice. It's pretty good. It has some coconut and some fig. Good Jean-Paul Gaultier flanker. I don't know if it was for me, but I know it's a good one. It's pretty underrated as a fragrance. That is for certain. Ultra Vibe says, what do you think of Beach Hut Man? Beach Hut Man's nice. It is, a lot of people thought it should be an aquatic fragrance, or, they thought it should, because it was on the beach, it should be like a fresh fragrance. It smells like a beach hut. It smells like dry hay and straw, and it smells like sand. It's kind of has this oily effect. It's kind of like, smells like almost like a traditional fougere without the citrus and more of a golden quality about it. It's quite different than a lot of people expect. Just like some people don't maybe catch on to the name. Like I remember there was one by Memo Paris called Winter's Palace, and it's kind of like somebody who has a vacation home. It's kind of that same principle. So if you have, if you had enough money and you could travel as much as you wanted to, you could travel to somewhere warmer in the world and have a winter palace, a beautiful place to live, and like a second home. And that's kind of like, it's kind of dedicated to like what I guess one of the emperors did in Japan or China or something like that back in the day. So it wasn't a cold fragrance. It wasn't a wintry fragrance. It was actually kind of a summery fragrance, and it confused people. So anyways, Beach Hut Man's nice, but don't think it's a fresh, beachy fragrance. It's more of an aquatic ordeal. It's not what it's quite different. It's sandy, it's kind of dry, it's kind of oily, and it kind of smells like dry grass or gold, kind of like a goldeny vetiver kind of vibe to it. It's nice. A lot of people like it. I see more guys liking the fragrance, but more power to the ladies who like it. I just haven't seen too many ladies who talk about Beach Hut Man. I don't know. Is there a Beach Hut woman out there? I don't even know. I do. If you are interested in thinking about that fragrance, Ultra Vibes, you might want to try Sunshine Woman. That's a very interesting, unique kind of take on a kind of like a goldeny fragrance, and it kind of has this unique I think it's sunflower, and I forget if it has ylang ylang in it, but it kind of has that feeling to it, and that probably would entertain you a lot better. So Atara says, "Oh yes, or a Dew Cereal is really nice. Good recommendation, Ben. I'm glad that you think so, Atara. The fragrance blew me away." And I think that more people should know about that fragrance. It's a really good one. The Or Du Cereal from Naomi Goodsir. And I need to try more Naomi Goodsir. That fragrance could really move up my list. Just like Ormond Jane. Ormond Jane is way up there in some of my favorite niche houses. If I try more of those Naomi Goodsir, I mean, man, that brand could shoot up there for me. That's the Ultra Vibes. Says Tom Ford, Jerry Vetiver's nice. It really is. Which one do you prefer? Do you like the EDT or the EDP? I'm funny. I kind of like the EDP, but I know that we're all different. Some people really like the EDT. Jake says new Amouage is called Boundless by Carry On. How do you say that name? Vincion. Spinner. She did Overture and Memoir. Oh, okay, she did those. Top notes of orange, cardamom, and ginger. I do like ginger and elemi. That's nice. Heart notes of vanilla, bourbon, benzoin, and some resinoid. So that sounds nice. I do want to try that one. It sounds quite nice. We'll have to see how it comes together and how that works. But thank you, Jake. Thank you for helping me out. I have not tried that one. Again, I don't have like an inside industry connection. Brands aren't sending me samples or like full size bottles when they release or anything like that. I do. I hopefully I can have some kind of relationship or maybe figure out a way to get things faster. I wish I had all the money in the world to get buy or have every single new fragrance release, but I can't. Maybe one day I'll get to that point where I can afford that. But thank you for mentioning that, and I'll try to get a sample of it so I can review it for you. Wonderful people. Jake says Gaiac wood. Oh, let me catch up. Gaiac wood, papyrus, cacao. Oh, there's more notes. I didn't even see those. Gaiac wood, papyrus, cacao, tobacco, oak moss, frankincense, myrrh, vetiver, and patchouli. That does sound good. That sounds really nice. Mike says, yes, Elisop Ombre is amazing. I actually like it better than Grand Soir. You're going to make some people mad over there, Mike, but I know what you're saying. I really like that. That Ombre from Elisop is one of the best ambers out there. Absolutely. Ultra Vibe says, I saw that. Interesting. Yes. Oh, thank you for the $4.99. I do appreciate it. Thank you for your kindness and your generosity. I don't get a ton of ad revenue or much compared to some people, and that does help. And I appreciate the love and you doing that. You say again, thank you for your education. Something for the next bottle. I appreciate that. You know, and again, I do try to learn as much as I can about fragrance. Again, I don't know everything, but I try to learn as much as I can and share everything I know. And I do try to make my channel as fun as possible and education. And but education is my forte and what I focus on. I don't want to get into the drama too much, but I did recently. I mentioned it on my Instagram. There's a fragrance reviewer who's, I won't even say their gender or who they are, but this person has been growing extremely fast. I guess their numbers are authentic, probably are, I'm guessing, but their content is top 10 list and focus on like men's dating fragrance and all that stuff that a lot of guys really want to see and get advice on. And somebody asked them for advice on how to grow their channel. It wasn't me, it was somebody else I kind of like. I guess that's maybe why it bothered me. And this guy asked, like, how could I grow our channel? And this person said to just have fun with it, which was essentially a non-answer. Essentially didn't answer. And essentially just said to have more fun. And I have more fun and do top tens and I guess be attractive or something. And I guess that what's going to get you numbers. But I don't know. Helping people actually have fun and find the fragrances that they love. Y'all know my little motto. Y'all know that, but I just didn't like it. And then this person stuck out their tongue and kind of made a tongue-in-cheek, kind of made the little insult a little bit worse, added a little bit of hot sauce on that wound. And I was just like, I already didn't watch this person. I already unsubscribed from them. Well, I'm never going to watch them again. I was like, but again, I'm not trying to create fights in the FragCom. I'm just saying that they're definitely, I mean, we're all different. I do hope that we can come together. But FragCom's a funny place. FragCom is a funny place. And you might know who I'm talking about if you do watch this person's reviews. But I don't hate them. I don't. Issey Miyake says Pulse of the Night. Anthony, I saw that one, yes. Jake says new Amouage material, a female line from Zazil's. Oh, really? Is that just a suggestion, or is there an actual new fragrance coming out from Cecile Zarokian? Cecile's getting her hands into everything, and she's a great perfumer, so kudos to her and her success. She's doing great over there. Notes of, you say elemi and patchouli, Madagascar vanilla, benzoin, Gaiac wood, oud, osmanthus. That sounds nice. I'm not sure how you'd give that fragrance some spunk. It sounds really rich and deep, and it sounds like an Amouage fragrance. It almost sounds like it needs something on the top, like a citrus or a fruit, or it needs something provocative, something to kind of switch things up in the base. But it looks so nice. Depending on how it comes together, it could work. I'm wondering how you would make it interesting. You'd have to do something. Let's see here. Anthony says Abercrombie and Finch's Fierce Night must try also. I have not tried the night version, but I have not tried it at all. And Anthony, I will try to get my nose on that one for sure. Ultra Vibe says, I have Ani, more feminine, but still wear it. Excellent vanilla. Yeah, more power to the guys who wear it. Again, I never mean that in a bad way. It's an excellent fragrance, Nishane's Ani. If you do like smoke, if you do want something a little bit darker, it's not the same as Ani, but it does have vanilla and it does have a dry, semi-sweet raspberry, kind of like Ani. It's called Blackmail by Kerosene. That fragrance is gorgeous. I did buy that fragrance, and I'm addicted to it. So that is one you definitely might want to try and get in your collection. Let me catch up here. Let me let me go back to Fragrantica. So let's see here. There is a Beach Hut Woman, but it's not very popular. I love Sunshine Woman. I have not even tried Beach Hut Woman. I mean, I thought it might exist. Usually, they release a fragrance for both genders, or just a suggestion for masculine, feminine, or whatever. But yeah, but and Sunshine Woman is probably more what ladies actually want. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Tara. Uncommon Sense says my ex used to wear Kai. Still is awesome ladies perfume, very summery. I'm not very familiar with Kai. Who makes that fragrance? But Uncommon Sense, thank you for sharing. Tara, I have like 10% power. I did get a pop-up of 14% power just a second ago. So we are going to be able to be on here for about an hour. I hope that satisfies all of you, but I do appreciate you. Anyways, I just want to give you all a heads up. Anyways, it says, but it seems a mixed up fragrance, if you know what I mean. Yeah, maybe the blending's not right, or it could be better. I know what you mean. Okay, effective files. I subscribed. Yes. What's everybody think of Xerjoff Naxos? Naxos is gorgeous. I do think it's really, really nice. It's a really nice, kind of like a tobacco. Has that like cherry tobacco kind of feel to it. It's pretty rich, but it's actually pretty wearable. So if you want a honeyed rich cherry tobacco that I think is pretty wearable all year long, it's actually a gorgeous fragrance, and it actually really, really works. I do see why it was hyped. I do see why people really like Naxos. It is a quite fantastic release, and certainly, in my opinion, one of Xerjoff's best. At least, and it is a tobacco fragrance, which is funny to say, but it's a little bit more mass appealing, I think, of a Xerjoff. If you've explored Xerjoff, you can know that some of their fragrances are a little bit odd, or have their characters maybe not for everybody. Just like Roger or Roger Dove. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say it. I kept saying Roja. Everybody tells me it's Roger. Anyways, you'll find some fragrances that just really work, and that's if you explore a house, and that's the beautiful thing. So let me type Fragrantica in here. We haven't talked about too many new releases, even though I have to go soon. Let me hopefully we can find a few. I do want to try Infrared by Spice Bomb. Infrared is one that I would really like to get review and get my nose on as a brand new fragrance release. I think that maybe Louis Vuitton's making another one. Let's see here. There's so many fragrances popping in and out. There's a new Oscar de la Renta called Alibi or Alibi. It's the Eau de Parfum version. It's probably pretty good. There's a new Montguerlain Sparkling Bouquet. And that Spice Bomb Infrared is the one I really do want to try. I don't know if there's too much interest in this fragrance. It might be a complete flop. But they're making a new Parfum version of the Hugo Boss Bottled United. So it's, Bottled Boss, there's a United flanker, line. And this is the EDP version. So that's a new fragrance that's just coming out. I'm sure it's going to be pretty good, but as y'all know, that Hugo Boss have some hits or misses, and the fragrances will go on a decent sell in time. So that one might be another one that I have to try in the future. So let me catch up with the comments. Jake says, what is your spray routine? Wondering how many sprays you use with Jubilation 25. Wish it was beast mode, but regardless, I overspray. And the smell, I wear it. You're smelling gorgeous to church. And Jubilation 25 is one of my favorite fragrances. With most fragrances, it really depends how strong it is. Sometimes I'll spray a little bit less, but most fragrances I spray 5, 6, 7 sprays. If I really want to get noticed, and if it's not too strong of a fragrance, I might wear 9 sprays, but I usually don't wear more than that. some people are more sensitive, and it depends on your environment. I've gone to work before to an office job, and I put on 3 sprays of a fresh fragrance, and there was somebody who was kind of had medical issues, like you could tell they weren't in the best of health. They might have had some asthma or some pneumonia or something, and just 3 sprays of a fresh, clean fragrance, and they were choking. And I was asked to wear little fragrance or no fragrance. I was kind of warned about it. So definitely do be careful. And some people say to put on 10 or 20 sprays of fragrances. Um, do understand your fragrance and how much you need to put on. But for most people, 5, 6, 7 sprays is more than enough that'll get you noticed. And if it's a very strong fragrance, sometimes 3 sprays is more than enough. Like Zoologist T-Rex, 1 spray is enough. You don't need more than 1 spray. If it's an extrait de parfum, you might only need one. It really depends on the brand and the fragrance and what you feel comfortable with, and whatever factors are important to you to think about. But yeah, that's just my feelings on the issue. I personally think 5, 6, 7 sprays is more than enough. I've had people fuss at me for wearing in my opinion, more of an average performing fragrance as well. I was in another situation. I only put on, I think, 5 sprays of it. It was Zurius Rouge, which I love that fragrance, and it comes off my skin. It actually projects pretty well off my skin, and I put on like 5 sprays of it, and people thought I was a madman. That they thought that I had doused myself in a bottle, and I only put on 5 sprays of it. So it really depends on who you're around and what you do. So let's catch up with the comments. See here. But great question, Jake. Absolutely. I probably got about 7, 5, 6% power. I got to go soon, but I'll try to catch up with your comments really fast. Factophile says, I'm a big fan of Naxos. It's similar to Pure Havana, but smoother. I agree. It's better than Pure Havana. It depends on how much money you have and what you want to spend. But I would go for the Naxos if you can save up the money. I do think Naxos is the better fragrance. You know, I just talked about Mustache EDP. You know, that fragrance compared to, you know, Tuxedo. Sometimes I do prefer one over the other for the value for the money. That in that situation, I would go for the Xerjoff. Ultra Vibe says, commenting about compliments and 1 million. What are you talking about, Lady One? You're making me think of 1 Million Lady, which are kind of underrated. Pretty good fragrances. Love it. Maybe I need a haircut. Not sure what you mean by that, Ultra Vibes, but it's always good to get cleaned and trimmed. I think a lot of us have been keeping to ourselves and staying in our houses. I think a lot of us probably need a haircut. Jacob says, do you go to the Macy's and Sephora or any of the boutiques to smell fragrances? I usually do, but because the world's so weird right now, and I don't want to have to take something off my face, or you know, on and off. I haven't been to a mall recently. I do have a mall that's fairly close, but I have no boutiques. Again, I actually have never been in a boutique in my entire life. Any of these niche fragrances that I review, I paid for almost all of them. But if I get something for free, like a discovery set, or if any of y'all are generous with me to send me something, those are the only ways I smell fragrances. I don't get invited to cocktail dinners and you know, early new releases bouquets in New York City. I don't get that treatment. That's not my life. I haven't even been to a boutique yet. So, anyways, see, what are your thoughts on the house of Roger Dove? They're a nice house. I do think that they're quality. I don't try to beat up on the house. Some people probably think I'm too aggressive with them, just like maybe they think I'm too aggressive with Creed. But my screen's about to dim. My power's about to go out. I do think the house is too expensive for what it is. For maybe some of their higher end fragrances, they are a good house. Their new, the Roja Creation E or Enigma Parfum Cologne is a gorgeous fragrance, and I do think it's worth the money if you can find it, and try it out and see if it works for you. If you do tend to like spicy, boozy fragrances, the Enigma Parfum Cologne is maybe their best. But I do think that them charging, you know, that you know, $700 for a lot of their fragrances, and plus they have some that are 1,000, they have some that are 1,700, they have a couple fragrances that are 2,000 plus. So it depends on you. What do you want to spend your money on? Is $1 million car worth $1 million? Is a famous painting worth 10 million? Again, it's all supply and demand and what people are willing to pay for it. I'm not willing to pay $3,000 for a Roger Dove, but more power to the people who will. I mean, if you can afford it and if they enjoy it, more power to them. But I'm not going to do it. So, anyways, Ultra Vibes says Sunshine Woman's good. Yeah, do try that Sunshine Woman. I do think y'all like it. Has anyone tried Enigma Oud? No, I have not tried that one. At least I don't think I have. I've tried I think there's 3 versions of the La Nuit or something like that. I've tried I think 2 and 3. I forget if I've tried the first. There's so many of them that get confusing. I'm sorry. Scott says, has anyone read that? Enigma Parfum has. If hasn't, I wasn't sold on it. Okay, yeah, but the Parfum Cologne version is a flanker, and I think the new Parfum Cologne version is better than the original Enigma. I think it's even better. But I know it might not be good enough for that. Was it $300? You might be able to find something better. It all depends on you. Next week we'll talk about new releases. We made this a beautiful live. We had a lot of fun. I gotta go, but we had a really fun time. I hope that y'all enjoyed hanging out with me outside. We made it work with a little bit of nature. Again, sometimes I might come in. It depends on how bad the mosquitoes are, or maybe I'll figure out a way to try to scare the mosquitoes away. Because once we get deeper into summer, I'm in the South, and if I sit out here at 6 p.m. at night, I will be eaten alive by mosquitoes. I live in mosquito country. So, my friends, I do have to go. I do appreciate you being a friend and hanging out with me, everybody. You are incredible people. Thank you for enjoying my content. I do upload, again, I do have to say these kinds of things because I guess it's a part of the game. But I upload Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and y'all know what to do if you do want to support me. And do thank y'all for being a friend. Have a happy weekend. Be safe, everybody.